He made it official about 7:05 Eastern Time this morning.
Today, and at this moment, I'm officially announcing that I am a candidate for president in the Republican primary.
That's Texas Congressman Ron Paul announcing that he'll run for the GOP nomination for president in 2012. It's his third attempt to get that office at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and he joins us this morning on WNTK WUVR. Congressman Paul, good morning, and welcome to the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. Good to be with you.
So, you think you can do it the third time? And why do you want to do it a third time?
Third's a charm is what I heard.
I actually said that about a half hour ago.
I do it because of so many people asking me to, putting pressure on me to do it, and working hard over many, many years to promote certain ideas, and the conviction that the country has moved in the direction of working toward a freer society and a more sensible foreign policy and addressing the subject of monetary policy in the Federal Reserve. All those things have moved in the direction that I've been working on for so many years. So it's probably with a lot more enthusiasm than ever before, not only with myself, but with the many supporters and the people willing to put the money behind the campaign.
And Congressman, your views very often don't jive with what the mainstream Republican Party views are among those. And yes, I think we are moving in that direction. You want to return to the gold standard.
You know, I don't use those words. I believe we should have a gold standard, and we should obey the Constitution. We should not print money. Therefore, I don't say go back, because there was an imperfect gold standard in the 19th century, although long-term prices remain stable, and when you're on a gold standard, there's much better economic growth, and government is held in check. You can't spend money you don't have. Today, you spend money you don't have it, you get the government, you get the Federal Reserve to print the money, and that's why I so strongly object to it. But you can you can improve on it. The gold standard we had before was a mixed deal. It was called a bimetallism system, where gold and silver were both legal tender, but the ratio was fixed. So there's a lot of things you can do that would improve it. The big thing the big question is whether printing money out of thin air and allowing the Fed to do it in secret and create trillions of dollars, whether it's good for us or just good for some narrow special interests, which I strongly believe is the case.
So, Congressman Paul, how do we get ourselves out of this trillion-dollar debt? What would you do if you become the President of the United States?
Well, first you have to stop the bleeding, and then you have to change the attitude about what kind of government we have. The government has to be there for protection of liberty, not to police the world and get involved in every squabble around the world. We need to change that and start bringing our troops home to save a lot of money. And we have to address the subject of, is it proper for the federal government to have this runaway entitlement system? And we don't. The government has nothing. They have to either print the money or borrow the money or tax people and redistribute the wealth, and it doesn't work. And people are starting to realize this, that the only thing that's going up these days is the debt, and there's a limitation. Our actual obligation to our future generations is going up at the rate of $5 trillion, not just the 1.6 that they talk about on the deficit, but when you add up everything, all the obligations, we're obligating our country and our taxpayers to the tune of $5 trillion per year. That is unsustainable, and we have to do something about it. So everything should be up for up for a possibility of cutting it. But I do believe you can cut some things more easily. I just think the American people are tired of these endless wars costing trillions of dollars and thousands of lives and thousands of casualties, and we're still expanding it. Obama was supposed to slow that up. Bush ran and said that we wanted a humble foreign policy and not get engaged in nation building. So I'm determined that we're going to keep working on that, because I think that's an easier way to initiate the spending cuts and start bringing our troops home.
The sacred cow has always been spending in the military, and candidates have tried and then have backed away from trying to cut that line item in the budget. But let's also speak to foreign policy, which you brought up, because you are advocating a less aggressive foreign policy. Let's just look at the events, Congressman Paul, of the last couple of weeks. How did we handle the Osama bin Laden affair, and now what should we do in that part of the world, specifically
Pakistan? We ought to
Pakistan.
come home like we shouldn't have gone in like we did. I voted for the authority to go after the Al-Qaeda and bin Laden, but this is a good opportunity forced to come home. It's not good for us on our national defense. What we're doing in Pakistan makes no sense whatsoever. We constantly bomb them, with drones, trying to find the bad guys, which offends their sovereignty and their government. And at the same time, we give them a lot of foreign aid. So just whose side? A pro-American foreign policy would be that we would talk to them and work with them. They've been willing to work with us in the past for capturing many of the al-Qaeda that were brought to this country and tried and actually even executed. So right now, I think we're really working on making sure that people are so angry at Pakistan so that we can go to war against them. I think we're going to have occupation of Pakistan, and that's what the stage is being set for. Of course, we doubled the number of people in Afghanistan. We've continued there. We went into Iraq. There was no al-Qaeda. We're working on Pakistan and Yemen and Somalia. We're in 130 some countries. We have 800 bases around the world, and it makes no sense. And even those individuals who say, no, we got to have a presence around the world, we have to protect our interests, we don't have any more money. So it's not going to work. This is what brings empires down, is spreading themselves too widely around the world. The Soviets learned a lesson. They learned it in Afghanistan, and there we are in Afghanistan. Already today they were predicting, expect a lot more killing come this spring. It looks like they're going to be after us again. So the war is going on, and I think we are a long way from stability in Iraq, no matter what the pundits are saying.